What's up, everybody? My name is Luis Solandes with the Local 416 Ironworkers. Catch me at the GangboX Podcast here with Vince and Daniel. You do not want to miss it. Good episode. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the GangboX Podcast. We are back, episode 11. We've had a lot of guests on lately. Obviously, it's been political season, but we are getting to our roots, to the backbone of the labor movement with a real guest, rank and file apprentices. How do you feel? Welcome to the GangboX Podcast. We're excited to kind of hear your story. Why don't you give us a little introduction on who you are, what local you're a part of, what year you are, and kind of what makes you tick?
Yeah, no, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Vince and, obviously GangboX Podcast for allowing me to be on here, and, you as well for giving me the platform. But my name is Luis Solandes, most importantly, and I come from, an immigrant family, both parents from Celaya, Guanajuato. I was also born in Celaya, Guanajuato. I'm currently on DACA, which allows me to be a part of the Local 416
Hell yeah.
Mission. And I say mission because, it's a brotherhood, and I see it now as a first-year apprentice. And I'm gifted, I'm blessed, so I'm pleased to be here.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yes,
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So first year apprentice, local. Tell us about Local 416. What is that?
Local 416 is a crew of people that, nose to the grindstone. We work hard every day, and we uplift the city, I'd like to say, and we all put forth the effort that gets that done. And it's cool to say, you know what? Coming from them and telling me like, hey, look, we did this, and one day you're gonna be able to say, you helped pick up the city, and doing that now every day I go into work, I'm motivated, and I'm happy to be a part of that crew, and happy to have some brotherhood, some, to some extent, some rough love,
Yeah.
So it's cool.
So for anyone listening that doesn't know, what exactly does 416 do? What type of work?
416 is rebar reinforcement. So we punk bar, we lift heavy iron all day. We're up high up in the sky, and we take pride in what we do. We make shit look nice too. So
Nice. What made you pick that local? How'd you get into that one? Why 416?
So first and foremost, I want to thank Steve-O, who is big dog.
Fuck yeah. Steve Guerra, bro.
Steve Guerra.
Yeah,
And,
coach.
Coach Steve Guerra. Shout out to Marley, his daughter. And, I go to the boxing gym there with Steve, and there was a point where I hit in my life where I was like, which was recent, where I was like, you know what? I was an electrician, non-union, and it just wasn't tailored for me. I didn't feel like an electrician. There was a situation where, I got sent home for moving too much, for doing too much. And I'm like, I sat at home one day after that, and I'm like, you're not even paying me enough, and I'm trying to give you the best I can.
Yeah.
And, it kind of put me down a bit, and I just hit Steve up, and I'm like, hey, man, like, in my mind, I knew how hard it was going to be. Like, I knew, also being a fighter, I knew, like, damn, I'd have to condition my body. But I was like, I like a challenge. I like an obstacle. Let's see how I can do with this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Steve had the audacity to say, you know what, you look like you can be one of us. And sure enough, I couldn't let him down, and now I'm out there doing my thing. But it was because of me getting in trouble as an electrician that I wasn't able to display my full potential. And now that I can, now I'm here.
And how long ago is that? Like, when did you join? How long you been in?
Like 2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You love it?
Love it. It's the
Really?
best gig I've ever had.
Nice.
Best gig I've ever
It
had.
just gets better the more money you make.
Yeah, there you go. At least, and as we were talking earlier, it's like fighting, right? Like, I go to the boxing gym, and I'm applauded for being the most violent.
Yeah.
And it's same here. It's like you're applauded for putting in work,
Yeah.
punking iron, doing what you can to move the team forward. And I love that, you know. So
I see what's going on here. So we started a Battle of the Trades boxing tournament not too long ago, and all of a sudden this kid shows up.
That's
huh?
that's
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I met him. Dude.
Yeah,
I met him first. He was coaching some of the athletes over at Center Ring Boxing on the East Side. So shout out to Tony and his family, Steve-O, Center Ring Boxing, dude. So we'll back up just a little bit. I know that this is going to be one of those podcasts where we go all over. You can't get two Rodbusters in a room because we'll be all scatterbrained. But so Center Ring Boxing, bro, is an organization that is a nonprofit boxing gym. It's the only nonprofit boxing gym in Southern Nevada. And Tony, who is a retired Launa 872 business manager, he was there before Tommy White, believe it or not. He or his family, Marilyn Kirkpatrick, and the Labor started. They took an old fire station and converted it into a boxing gym. And correct, you would know way more than me, bro, but like it's all the neighborhood kids from the East Side. They get to train there for free.
It's the roughest kids you'll find, and that's where they train.
In the East Side. And that's where I met him. Was through Steve-O, who I met through Tony and them, and doing the nonprofit. So what Daniel's talking about is we have the Battle of the Trades. And this is just for the listeners, right? And so if anybody's fucking interested, it's our hardest event that Building Trades puts on. So we have to find people who want to compete to box, for all crap, trade versus trade. You have carpenters that'll fight electricians, plumbers fighting roofers, sprinkler fitters, glazers, iron workers. There's all, so each craft puts people up. And it's hard for me because I have to match them by age, weight, and boxing record because it's all legit. We have to go in front of the athletic commission, turn in our paperwork there. They're all sanctioned. They have to get their books, their amateur books, and if you're over 40, you got to get an EKG, so you got to get physicals. We have to pay for doctors and ambulances. And so what we do with that money is we give the proceeds, a big portion of the proceeds to Center Ring Boxing to help fighters like Marley Guerra, who's the daughter of a 416 member. I think she's ranked number 3 in the country or something.
Number 1 in my heart.
Number 1 in your heart. Yeah. But she's bad, bro. And so we raise money because now she's on the Olympic team, on the junior Olympic team, and she's an Olympic hopeful. But I mean, bro, that's some real shit coming out of the dirt. You know what I mean? And that's what Tony and them do. And so that's where I met him. He was training the guys that were in the trades. And so he was able to get a job through that. You know what I mean? And it's funny to hear him say that, he worked non-union and he got in trouble for working too hard. And then you come to the Rodbusters and you're applauded for your fucking violence, bro. Like, I love that shit because that job, bro, again, that's my heart. That's where I come from. That's where I talk about. That's where I learned my work ethic. That's where I learned my grind. It's no secret, dude. I'm in recovery right now, and I have the disease of addiction. And when I was in the field, that addiction was my job. I fucking never stopped working. I loved the violence. I loved the chaos that comes with it. The hurry up and fucking go. The shit talk. The grind. The push. There's it's one of the most physically demanding jobs in the trade. Yeah, like 100%. That, and I think finishing concrete are the 2 hardest fucking jobs by far. Every job is tough. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But there's the equal playing field where you have to wake up, you have to drive to work, you get to work, you lace up your boots, right? Yeah. You stretch and flex. That's where we're all equal. And then once you put your fucking tool belt on, you go to work. It's like some jobs are you have to think a little bit more, and that's like the shit that I always get fucking played around about is they talk shit. They're like, oh, iron workers don't know how to read, and that's why you're fucking. It's funny, bro. I like it. It's all love, like you said, bro. It's tough love, bro. But we have a good time, dude. But it takes a special.
That's how you're supposed to be, right? Yeah, I mean, we talk about that all the time because I'll make the same comment about my glazers. And look, you're only 2 months into your apprenticeship, so if you want to jump ship and become a glazer,
I don't think so.
Because we're looking for some boxers for the Battle of the Trades. So we can compare wage schedules later and see what you want to do. But that's how you're supposed to be, right? The pride that we have in our crafts is crazy, right? You talk to any glazer. They have the same thing. We are the best craft on the job. Yeah. Right? And we believe it. You can hook me up to a lie detector test. I am not lying. But if anyone who's in their trade doesn't think the same thing about their trade, then they don't have the passion needed to have longevity in this kind of career, because you have to have that type of passion for what you do, right? Yeah. It's just pride in your work. It's something that I think we're losing with kind of the new generations. And that's an old school. That was put into me from some old school Glazers. Like, be proud of what you do. We are the best. And then you wake up and you listen. You're like, you know what? We are the best, man. You know?
And you know what? That's funny you say that, because I've always surrounded myself with grown men. I've never had a group of friends who's like, oh, that's my boy, and he's younger or my age. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Why? Because I knew that, like, when my father died, I knew that if I did that I wouldn't fully see my full potential, or I wouldn't fully understand things that I'd already had figured out by having a father figure, a grown man. And I always attach myself to the older cats and see what they have to say. So I'm also very old school, right? I grew up thinking, like, every time I would go work at the swap meet with my dad, or in auctions when I used to work with my uncles, like, they wanted things quick. And I never took that personal. I never was like, oh, why don't you go get it? Yeah. It was always more so of like, damn, how can I show out to him? Like, if I show out, he might give me 50 more bucks.
Right.
And to me, I never hung with the young guys, because even now with the young apprentices, like, I'd really try not to talk much, with them. I'm cool with them, cordial, but let me listen to that guy. Like, I want to listen to the older head who's been here for 15 years, who can tell me how to do it easier, quicker, but also be efficient with it. And you're right. A lot of this shit is dying nowadays with a lot of these young people. Also, no one wants to get their fingers dirty.
Right.
No one wants to get their hands cut. Look at my thumb.
Yeah.
I popped my cherry, but it's but it's that, it's wanting to, like, man, how can I be like you guys? It's seeing admiration.
Yeah.
And everyone nowadays just wants to be the coolest guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, I just want to be like you, which is what's getting me to be better.
Nice. So, I mean, you've talked about, being a brand new apprentice. You mentioned a little bit about boxing. Can you kind of take us way back and how you got here? Like, how was your childhood? Where'd you come from? All the things that kind of led up to you being an apprentice right now.
Yeah. So pretty much I came from Mexico when I was 5. I came from Guanajuato, knew no English. It took me about 6 years to learn English. Back then, they didn't have a lot of tutors like how they do now, next to you, sitting there, writing for you, explaining to you. So it was kind of more like people talking in like a different language, and you're like, what the hell do I do? Learned English, and I was always attached to my dad. My dad always liked to work. He always found ways to make money, to move. And he was always like me. Like, I'm like him. Like, we can't stay still. And my dad was my hero. He dies when I'm 15. I'm a junior in high school. And, I just start feeling this heavy burden on me. Like, I've never asked for it, but it just naturally came on me to where I'm like, man, like, fuck, now I'm a provider.
You're the oldest in your family?
No, my sister is. Okay. But as the oldest man, right. I felt that. And it's not that no one put it on me. It was my own, And so I started becoming more rageful with things. I wasn't understanding how to take my dad's death. And I found fighting. And one day I got in a fight at the park, and some guy came up to me and I had knocked out the guy. And the guy was some other guy, Luis, came up to me. He's like, Luis Ortiz. He's like, hey, man, he's like, you ever want to box? I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't have money. Like, I'm busing it everywhere. Like, I'm busing it to school. How cool is it to be a senior in high school and you're taking the city bus as your friends are coming down in their trucks with their girlfriend, and I'm in the city bus?
What high school?
I went to Sunrise Mountain High School in the east side. Yeah. So, it's just little things just started fucking with me. And I just became like, fuck, I want the world. I want it, and it became that, and just still trying to figure my depression out, how, my dad dying, and trying to figure my way out through life. My mom could do what she could. She cleaned houses from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Didn't really see her as much. So I started fighting, getting in trouble, and then I was introduced to controlled fighting, which is boxing and martial arts, and I learned my discipline. I learned how to not be rageful. I learned how to work as a team, and I learned how to listen. And so from there, I just started piecing everything together. Like I said, I grew up with a lot of older men. So to me, how I like to do it and how I did it was, what could I get from him to add to my arsenal? What can I get to him to add to my arsenal? Why? To then build the machine.
Building your toolbox, bro.
And yeah, building my toolbox. And, you know, at the end of the day, ultimately, I feel like I'm the best fighter. I feel like no man could beat me. And I also feel like one day I'm going to be the best iron worker, and no one's going to be able to keep up.
Fuck yeah. What, did you fight professionally? Always amateur?
Nah, always amateur. Yeah, always amateur. And the reason being is, you know, it's your own self. Like, it was my own self. I never really saw my you know, that's why I started so late, because I never really saw my potential. I was blinded by having to, you know, there was days we wouldn't eat. My mom didn't have to give us food. I remember once I got in trouble for making a quesadilla at my aunt's house. We got evicted to my aunt's house, and she split the fridge, and my mom's side was on this, and her side was on this side. And I got home one day, my mom didn't have shit, and so
Half the fridge was empty.
yeah,
and then the other half had a bunch of food in
was
it.
her shit, yeah.
Oh, man.
And so I got a tortilla, got some fucking cheese, which is fucking $3, nothing crazy.
If that, yeah.
If that. And I started making it. She comes in, she's like, hey, where's your mom's food? Tell her next time to get you guys food. Mind you, my mom didn't have money to get food. And so shit like that is what makes me
Fucking
a
Tia.
fucking savage, you know? Like, I you remember that,
Yeah.
and, you know, you just want more of it, you know? And I think that's what pushes me, and that's why I'm iron worker now, is because I'm able to get pushed and see how far I can go.
So, what was your record for amateur?
My record is 3-0.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
And then now I know you and I were talking a little bit. You're starting to get more into the MMA stuff.
Yeah. I've always liked martial arts. I've always liked martial arts. I just didn't fully do it because when I was 21, I had ruptured my ACL and my meniscus completely. And so I was kind of tentative and scared of like, damn, how would it play off like that?
Yeah.
And, you know, I just strengthened the shit out of it. I was able to get it fully functional back again. And, you know, I like martial arts better.
Yeah.
I like the use of more tools, you know?
Yeah.
So if I can be the most violent, then I will be the most violent, you know, and not be restrained to just hands, but everything else.
And so where do you do your boxing, your striking, center ring, I guess, right?
Yeah, I do my Muay Thai there. I have guys go there and help me with
Hell
like
yeah.
kicks, sparring, Muay Thai, boxing at center ring, and then I do my jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet. Shout out to 10th Planet, shout out
Yeah.
to center ring.
That's badass,
Yeah,
bro.
I do that. Mm-hmm.
And how'd you get hooked up with 10th Planet?
My boy. I was always scared.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a
Yeah.
bunch of animals in there, and so
Fuck
you're
yeah.
like, fuck, like, damn, you see a threat, and you're kind of like, damn, like these guys are bad motherfuckers. And one of the guys kept pushing me. Shout out to Abdel Rodriguez. He makes boxing equipment, and he also has a training center for like kids that are goalies in soccer.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and so he kept wanting to push me. He's like, bro, you'll be really good at it. Like, just come. And one day I was like, fuck it. You know, I went broke because my account went negative. I put in that $200 payment but it was worth it, you
Yeah.
know, and I went in there and, you know, I was able to display my talent, and, you know, I feel like I'm good enough.
So how long have you been training now MMA?
Man, I've always kicked, I've always elbowed, I've always understood martial arts since my dad died. You know, I used to go to the Zaya. It's called ZIA. It's like a Blockbuster. It was a Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah. The records.
Yeah, and so we didn't have money. That's when my dad died, right? And so I busted to that, and I was like, fuck, what can I watch? We didn't have nothing to watch. We didn't have cable. And I'm like, fuck, $2 fucking UFC DVDs. So I got
yeah.
like fucking 15.
The new one, like the first ones.
Oh,
UFC
yeah.
1, UFC 2,
Dude.
Tank Abbott, and
Hoist Gracie.
Oh
dude,
yeah.
all that shit. And I'm
yeah.
like, fuck. And so I always trained it. I always
Gotcha.
understood it. I always knew it. So that's why people are like, hey man, how many fights you have? I got no MMA fights. But I can whoop your ass.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
we
Like-
talk about so we talked about, so in the work I do now, especially in the political world, you have all these people that are represent all these organizations, and so there was a guy that represents Tough Enough, the like, you know, MMA whatever, and so I text him, and he's supposed to get back to me, dude. We're trying to help him out, get a fight and shit. So hopefully, bro. I mean, if fucking
So are you ready? Are you ready to have a?
I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even a thing. It's seeing where my opportunity's at.
Right.
You know, and if my opportunity's there, I train every day. I'm an iron worker every day. So you can't come tell me that I'm not putting in work. I'm putting in work every day. So he better be ready, not me.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, bro, because I'm always curious about this. So iron work is a whole different kind of conditioning.
Fuck yeah.
Because you'll see these guys, bro. I remember when I was an apprentice, fucking brand new, and I'd see these old fucking fat Mexican dudes eating burritos, drinking beer. And these dudes would be running with rebar and shit. I'm like, how the fuck? And I was like, oh, this is easy. And then I'd go and I'd fucking die. And I'm like, how the fuck do these old men do it, bro? It's a way different style of conditioning. And then once your body gets conditioned to rebar, you feel unstoppable, right? It's fucking crazy, bro.
My joints feel fucking strong. Yeah. I feel super. And you know what? I always suffer from malnutrition because of the past situation. So I was always weak. My joints would fuck up easy. That's how I got my ACL fucked up. So it was always a lot of that. But now that I'm doing this and I'm training, I'm kicking, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
do you feel stronger?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Right
I feel stronger, but nothing hurts though. Like my back isn't hurt. Like I feel good. I feel strong. But it is a different conditioning. Though.
Yeah.
Because at first I was kind of like, what the fuck? He's 65?
Yeah.
Bro, I swear I've seen
it pisses you off.
Yeah, it pisses you off, bro, because you're like, I'm fucking.
How come I can't do that?
You see them get up, hook, get up, and I'm like, I can't keep. The guy I'm working with now, I'm partnered with, Lorenzo. Shout out to Lorenzo. Man, the motherfucker's a gangster. It's harder for me to keep up with him, and he's in his fucking 50s.
It's
and
wild.
It's a different thing, yeah. But it's cool though. It's dope. It makes you feel unstoppable, you know?
Yeah.
Makes you feel like other people just can't do this shit.
So you're working every day out in the field, and you're training. You're fighting, training at night.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
your
days are full.
Full. No time for no extra shit but that. Yes,
That's
sir.
crazy.
But work and training, 100%. Yeah.
So when you said you came here, and we are going to go all over the place, but you said you came to this country at 5 years old. Were you in Vegas?
No, I started in California actually, in San Fernando, in Northridge.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Valley. That's where I originated. That's where my upbringing was, and around Hispanics and everything, working class. The working class.
And when did you come to Vegas?
I came to Vegas when I was about like 11 years old.
Okay.
Around that age.
So you just moved with your family?
Yeah, with my family. My dad had gotten a job here. He used to work for Freeman, the company that does.
No.
Freeman is audio video techs. They send out all this to big productions, fights, microphone speakers, all that. And so we would resell that at the swap meet.
What swap meet?
Broadacres.
Hey, I knew you were gonna say Broad. I love that place,
dude. We used to go at 3 a.m, get a spot. He would make us load, unload. He would make me and my sister sell, and he would leave. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is your shit. Come sell your shit. And later on, I realized that my mom was like, hey, he did it to show you how to speak to people. He did it. He left so he can he didn't care about the fucking money. He's like, he would leave, come home, and he would tell me, he's like, I want to see how much they sell. But us, we're over there at the Swami fucking pissed. Like, what the fuck? We would sell a microphone for $40. It's $250.
Jeez.
But he didn't care. It was the act of being there and struggling and communicating, socializing that made everything.
So you were 11 years old at the swap meet selling stuff?
Yeah.
Nice. I love that swap meet.
100%. Yeah. That was the swap meet when people actually went to go sell. When people would go, there was no extra shit with the music. It was the people that came to buy were from 6 to 10. Those were the good buyers. After that, it became a little slower. So, but that was good times of the swap meet. Yeah. Now it's a lot watered down. Yeah.
It's gimmicky.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I always think they're trying to rip me off because I'm a white guy.
I think you're not wrong.
I'm like, I think that should be $10. Like, no, 15 for you, white guy. Yeah. Like, all right, we're gonna move on.
Yeah. So see, what sucks is now you can't even bargain sometimes. Now they're selling shit like what they sell at the store, and I'm like, I might as well just go to the store.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, what?
Yeah, they don't.
The guarantee.
Yeah, for sure.
So you come in at and did you say you're DACA?
Yeah, I'm a DACA recipient.
So how did, growing up, obviously, you came into the country at 5, right? At what age did you realize, hey, I might have a status issue here? Did they tell you, did your parents let you know right away, like, hey, we brought you across the border, you don't have your papers? Or when did you discover that, and what did that feel like? What was that like?
I discovered that when I went to school.
And how did
my
that
disadvantage.
how did that go down?
I would cry a lot. Yeah, I would cry a lot because, like I said, I would hear everyone speak, and I'm like, "What's this? Like, where am I at?" You know, everything was newer, nicer, and so it's a shock. And so when I would see my dad leave, I'm like, "Damn, like, where are you going?" You know, and so it was hard, but that's the moment where I was like, and I was young. I was maybe fucking like 6 at that point. But later on, as you get older, obviously you start realizing more things, and you start being like, man, I am at a disadvantage. So to me, since I always knew I was at a disadvantage, I never forgot my roots. I never forgot who I am. I'm always stand on business with that, because it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like me going against my mom, and that's never gonna happen, or my heritage or my people. But what I did understand is I had to get my shit together. As far as I do have to speak English, you know what I mean. I do have to, conduct myself in a positive way, and in a way in which, you're gonna be happy to communicate with me, or how easy can it be for me to communicate and socialize with a businessman, a white guy, right? Because every time I would see a white guy, I was scared. I was like, what the fuck is he gonna say about me? Or how is he gonna judge me? And my parents were a big advocate in being like, you know what, like, here at the household, we're speaking Spanish, we're sticking to our roots, you're never gonna forget that. He's like, but they were always adamant about me, adapting to where we're at.
Sure.
In a positive way,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To where I don't lose my roots and my heritage, which I'm 100% proud of.
Right. And then what you said, how the DACA thing, how did you get that? Did you have to apply for it? Was it a pain in the ass? What was that process like?
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass, because you got to understand, I'm already in Vegas, so I went to school in California, so I have to get records of where I lived, school paperwork, all that. So you have to go back over there, get all that, get your stuff from here. Just prove that you're a functioning member to society, and that you're just not a number, that you're actually providing something to society. Either you're working, either you're going to school, or, whatever the case may be. And it was hard. And then it's also hard because, obviously you come from a struggling family, and then, it comes time to renew, and then it's like all this shit talk of like, oh, you want to take DACA away, but no, the fuck you don't, because we pay a lot to keep this shit going. We pay a lot to renew. So it's like, you won't take this shit away. Also, too, we're working class. You can't get in trouble. You have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to be like I said, a functioning member of society. Put forth, and so that motivates me.
Sure.
To be a functioning member of society. So now, what are you gonna say about me?
Yeah. How old were you when you first applied to get that?
I think I was like 15.
Really?
Yeah, it's 15. Yeah, I think it's like 15 where you can start.
And then you have to renew it
It's every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years. So every 2 years they get $900 from me.
And every 2 years you have the pressure of man, because can they deny it?
So they can deny it. You can lose it. So for example, if my due date is to renew, my renewal is 3 months from now, right? And I renew it today. Something may happen to where they might not receive my paperwork. I don't know how it gets lost somewhere.
Sure.
And you're fucked. Why? Because there's deadlines for everything. And so if you don't comply with those deadlines, they'll take it away. I have a cousin who got it taken away because it got lost.
Oh.
Her information sent out so that they can run everything got lost, and now she doesn't have DACA.
Fucking send two, bro.
And so it's like, what fuck are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
All the hard work, all the taxes I've paid, me being a good civilian.
Right.
Like what they just.
I mean, you've done everything right. You've done.
Essentially, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. It's and not that I want to, because sometimes I do want to be a menace. But fuck it. Sometimes I do want to be a demon. But for the most part, I do community service without even thinking it's community service.
Yeah, it just feels like the right thing to do.
It just feels like the right thing to do now. So, and that's a lot of these people nowadays. A lot of these people are doing what feels right, because everyone's sick of all this extra shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm one of those, so I realized that bringing peace, positivity is the way to go, And so then like I said before, what are you gonna say now about me?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing bad.
And so what is it that keeps you grounded like that? Like what is it that keeps you motivated? You seem like a very passionate, very motivated young man. What is it inside you that keeps you so motivated and positive to keep advancing?
What motivates me more so is, I tell people, when you're a fighter, you kind of forget that you're also a human, right? I've been in altercation in chaotic environments. I remember my dad would come home at 3 a.m, break the door down to try to hit my mom. So that type of chaos brings it blurs your mind with so much negative shit that you almost become dark yourself, right? And then you put fighting in that, right? Now I have to train my body to analyze an individual and say, how can I make that guy fold? How can I break him, right? And so a lot of people forget that, no, you're also a human. And so when I go to the boxing gym at 4 p.m. to give the kids 2 hours of my time, that's what motivates me. Because I'm motivated to still be human as well as still be super violent. And so seeing them work hard, seeing their parents, shout out to Lázaro, is one of the parents there at the boxing gym who goes there after work every day, non-union guy, nose to the grindstone every day, and he wants the best for his kids. Not only that, you see when Tony brings the boxes of, it's not even fucking good food. It's fucked up food they take the kids, it's something though, right?
Sure, yeah.
They have carrots, like it's fucking something.
Yeah.
And so I remember me carrying around the fucking the Thanksgiving box that they would give me in high school and being proud to have it and take it home and seeing them be like, hey Tony, can I take 5 for my brothers, 2 for my mom?
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, like, fuck. Like if I have all these attributes, if I have all these all this support system, like, man, how can I be great so that I can give back to kids like that?
Yeah. And
so that's why I take, pride in everything I do, pride in communication with people, pride in who I am, so that, I ultimately tell the people that ask me the same question is, I want my dad to see the best fucking show he's ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to be like, damn, that's a bad motherfucker. And that's what I want.
Do you feel like seeing the kids kind of feels like almost a full circle moment? Like, because, you talked about like bringing, when you were in school and getting assistance and stuff, and seeing these kids, does it kind of take you back to your childhood? Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, because they see admiration in me.
Yeah.
And I never realized I could be admired by somebody, but admired by a kid that sees, like, he has his whole life ahead of him. And I can be the one to shift that, either to the right or to the left. And to me, it's the positive way. And so it makes me happy knowing that there's 50 fucking kids there that come up to me every day and say, hey, man, I love you, bro. When before, they used to say what's up and kind of just turn away and go. That's how it works with those kids. And you got to speak their language. That's why I don't censor myself. Because you won't get to them by speaking like a professional, like, oh, hey, buddy, about that. What's cracking, bro? How you doing? They interact with you and they care for you. And so in a way, it's more so too, like, they care for me. So I've never felt, you kind of go so long without feeling certain type of love, that the love that they do give you, it's love that you can't find anywhere else, So
how often are you working with them kids every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I try to give my input. I try to help them as much as I can. And be a pillar that I didn't have, you know what I mean? Be someone that can direct me and let me know, like, hey, man, like, stay good in school. Like, you get to reap rewards if you're a good person, show respect, this and that. And, fucking, like I said, I didn't know I was going to become someone that someone look up to, I thought I was going to either be dead or in prison, really.
So not only are you punking rebar all day long and you're training for yourself, but you're also helping out with all the kids.
I do my best to help out the kids as best I can. Yes, sir. Yeah. You start hearing their stories and, just understanding who they are. And, it's a beautiful thing to understand that they, a lot of those kids come from probably worse worse stories than mine.
Fuck yeah.
What are you sleeping like 3 hours a night or something?
Yeah, 4, 5, yeah,
okay.
5, yeah, yeah. But yeah, those kids keep me going for sure.
So that's it. That's awesome. What looking kind of out into the like, what is you're looking out in the future, the next 10 years. You're an apprentice. You're 2 months in, and I love that you're a brand new apprentice, having a brand new apprentice kind of on the pod. I mean, that's this podcast is really geared toward our members, right? Members of all the trades, and to have a kind of a fresh 2-year apprentice with your background and kind of what you're doing. You're chasing the American dream, right? And
100%.
And that's what unions have to offer. That's what we are preaching is we are giving people of all walks of life from all different types of backgrounds the American dream. So when you look at your future for the next 10 years, where do you want to be at? What is it that you want to be doing in the next 10 years?
As far as I can go.
Yeah. There's no limit.
Because I don't know where I'm going to be. I can't dictate that.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of it is ordained by God. And as long as I keep working, as long as I keep trucking, I'll get to where I need to be. And that, I don't know exactly what that is, but I want all the chips. I want everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
What was your biggest surprise coming into the union? What was like the most the thing that shocked you the most? What were you like, oh fuck, I didn't know that? Or what did you learn, whether it's through the union or through the company?
Is knowing how to work fast, efficient, be productive, but the safety stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I can't forget that,
Yeah.
So, it's just becoming safer at the job site, but also being efficient. That to me was more of a shock because, coming from non-union, it's kind of like, fucking, it don't come and, whatever, this and that. But seeing the guys walk around there telling you, hey, put your glasses on, shit like that is, it's, but shout out to them though, because, I'm cool with them there at the job site. They're cool people, but, yeah, it's the shock of having to be safe. Like, I never thought of being safe. Like,
well, that's what's funny, bro. So when we were in Carson City for the film bill, the whole building is being done non-union again. Thanks to Northern Nevada Building Trades for doing their job and taking care of the legislative building up there. Way to go, Rob. Keep up the great work.
We're gonna get text
but
messages.
Anyway, who cares? Do your fucking job. Do your fucking job or get out of the way. Anyway, yeah, bro, we were out there. We were at the building, right, every fucking day, bro. And then, in Northern Nevada, and all the construction is fucking non-union, bro. The scaffolding's all fucked up and all this and that, and everyone's talking shit, bro. We fucking called OSHA, bro. OSHA was out there the next fucking day, bro. They had the scaffolding fucking fixed. All the workers were good, and it's kind of like to the point, bro, where it's like, whether they're union or non-union, motherfucker is still a human.
Yeah.
Just do the fucking job. And so, like, we weren't there talking shit to the non-union workers. We weren't fucking with them. It's not their fault, bro. Most of those dudes don't even know. They're just trying to get a job. But, dude, it's funny that to hear you say that, like, the non-union and it being unsafe and shit to the point of those guys seeing it fucking now. Like, even grown-ass men, bro. And then a lot of these dudes are fucking scared to speak up about if something's unsafe or if they're being mistreated at work, or even dudes who get shorted on their check hours, bro. I can't even believe, like, grown-ass fucking men doing the work we do, doing the work that you're doing now. You'd be shocked, bro, how many people are scared to speak up. And to me, that's what fucking union is. Having the balls to fucking speak up against something that's wrong, is something you truly believe in and you want to go fucking fight. And then finding like-minded people who understand that, like, no, you owe me that money. Like, that's mine. When I was the BA, bro, people would be scared. I remember this one cat, he'd come up to me. He was a paisa, you know what I mean? He was real scared and timid about everything. And he tells me, he's like, I was shorted 2 hours of overtime. And I was like, all right, cool, man. I'll call the company. No big deal. It's all good. He's like, no, don't tell him it's me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, do you want me to get a blank fucking check with no name for 2 hours of time and a half? Like, bro, the company's not going to do that. And he's like, oh, just forget it then. And I was like, no, like, you can't be scared. It's your money, dog. Like, and then I'm in a weird situation. Like, am I going to break his trust if I go fight without him wanting me to? Then he's going to be like, fuck Vince. So it's hard, bro. And I told him,
but if you don't go after it, 2 years from now, he'll be talking about, oh, remember that time you didn't get my overtime? He'll tell everyone, I told him I was shorted and he didn't do anything about it.
Right. It becomes
It's a weird situation, bro. So I ended up convincing him he had his daughter there with him, bro, to kind of help translate, because in my Spanish ain't that fucking best. And so I had to more convince her to convince her dad. Yeah. So thank God, bro, she was there. But there's a lot of that, and especially in the I don't know how it is in yours, but
it's the same. Yeah. I mean, it's they get worried, but I take that kind of as a personal challenge, because to me, if my members are worried to say something, then they're worried I can't protect them, right? And so if they're coming to me going, "Hey, don't say anything," I take that kind of personally. That's an issue I need to deal with, and so it's starting to change. I mean, I have a ton of members that really just don't care anymore. We got a floor covering contractor, one of ours, that was ripping off some guys for a long time, and they were very scared. And our old regime, we were district council 15 before. They apparently had been asking the reps to do something about it, and the reps would just go to the employer and go, "Hey, these guys are complaining about something," and then they would all get fired, and the reps wouldn't do anything. And so the culture was, even if I go to the union, I lose my job. And as a union rep, we have to understand that sometimes these employers know how to play the game, and sometimes it's almost impossible to protect them. And then when they stand up and say, "Hey, my pay's short," it's one person, and you try to go get it from them, and a week and a half later we have slowed down and that guy is let go, it's hard for me to fight that, because the employers know what to do. They know how to game the system. Yeah. But I have some members that did the right thing. A few weeks later, they lost their job. They're not mad at me at all, but it's the strength of the membership, right? Could you imagine if that guy lost his job 2 weeks later and everyone else on the job walked off? Yeah. Until he got his job back. Yeah. That's how the union used to be.
That's how I was brought in.
That's how it used to be, but it's turned a little backstabby lately. Yeah. Like, oh well,
2008, bro. Yeah. I feel like 2008 made it really, really like the 2008 fucked the brotherhood. Right. Because when 2008 came, it was like every man for himself. Yep. We're all like, so it was all the fucking suck asses and I don't know, whatever you want to call it, dick suckers, whatever, kiss asses, bro. Yeah. And so they all fucking, that's the problem, bro. They forgot about the brotherhood and they all went to the company and they were all fighting for hours and backstabbing each other. And then in the rebar side, specifically 416, bro, here in Vegas, a lot of it turned into not even the best hands got to stay working. It was just the friends, bro. I always had a real big fucking problem with that. Again, just like now, like I never wanted to fit in. I didn't give a fuck about fitting in. I don't want to be your fucking friend. I'm here for money. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make fucking friends, right? And you go out and grind. You develop real brothers out of that, because then you start to forge a bond with these fucking dudes, right? But when 2008 came, a lot of that shit went away, dude. And then some of the guys that were very union strong afterwards, now a lot of those dudes, they got let go and they got blackballed, and because there's only 3 union rebar companies in town, so there's roughly 300 fucking members here, so it's small. But I remember before they'd be like, well, if he goes, we all fucking go. If somebody was gonna get laid off for speaking up for themselves or speaking up for the crew or the brotherhood, they'll all fucking go, bro. That's, I remember badass. It was bad, bro. That was my introduction to unionism. I don't know, I don't think I told the story about Red Rock on here. No? So
you've told me, but I don't think it's been here.
I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast, bro. So you've never heard this. So we were building the Red Rock, first tower, Red Rock Hotel and Casino, and shout out to Tommy Shafter. He was the guy who gave me my opportunity. People think it was my dad, bro, like, because my dad was a rod buster. Okay. But it was a guy named Tom Shafter. And old white dude, fucking grumpy as fuck. He just... dude like ate nails for breakfast, you know what I mean? Like he was just an old school tough dude, bro. Solid motherfucker. I'm gonna be forever grateful for him. But he's the one who gave me my opportunity to run work, right? So I was blessed, bro. He gave me the sheets. He's like, this is how you lay out, this is what you do, you have something in you. I remember him telling me like, no, you don't give a fuck attitude. He's like, you're gonna lead, right? And so he gave me my first opportunity. And so we were doing Red Rock and I was doing the decks on the tower. And they had the low-rise structural going on, and when there's a bunch of crafts on the job, and so they had the drop inlets, like where all the water flows into the curb and gutter. Well, that has to go somewhere, and people don't know. That's all connected to underground sewer systems or water systems, but all those things are made out of concrete, so they pour them in place because they don't just ship them out on a truck. And so there was a carpenter company, and the carpenters were putting the rebar in, and it was maybe 400 fucking pounds. And so I thought my ego was all the way fucking turned up, bro, because I thought I was the man. I had the sheets, I had a fucking crane radio, bro. Right. I was fucking all happy, and people have to listen to me and shit.
They gave me a radio.
Yeah, they gave me a fucking radio. You think you're the shit, right? So there's like 400 pounds of rebar for like the drop inlet, and there was carpenters putting it in. And I remember my boy, his name's Jeff. He was like, "Hey man, you believe these fucking carpenters are doing our work?" And I was like, "Fuck those guys!" And I went and told Tom, I'm like, "That should be fucking ours." And Tom, bro, he was not a company guy, but he was a union guy for sure, bro. Like there was no question. But I've never seen a foreman be that pro fucking union, dude, because it's just not something that you're done. If you're running the job, you're a company guy, you don't care about the union. You're always saying bad shit. And Tom never really said shit until then. And that's when I got to realize, like, holy fuck. So he went and told the GC, like, hey, let our boys put it in for free. I'll just give you a ticket. It's no big deal to avoid drama. Well, the GC was a carpenter, and he was like, no, fuck you. Like, our guys are going to do it. And that's when Tom turned on the unionism. He was like, no, fuck you. We're all fuck. So he told me, he's like, go start telling everybody at fucking noon we're walking off, blah, blah, blah. So I told all the structural cats, bro. I told the structural guys, hey, bro, we're walking off at noon. These fucking carpenters are ratting on our work, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even, you're just fucking fired up, bro. I just had a big ass mouth. So I was running around the whole job. Plumbers told everybody, bro, we're all going to walk off. And and again, dude, now looking at it, the carpenters didn't know. They're just doing what the fuck the boss told them to do. We're like, fuck you guys. Those guys are like, what do you want? You don't know, bro. Right. Like you're doing what the boss told you to do. So here comes noon, bro. Noon rolls around, and dude, we all fucking walk off the job. Everyone comes down. 433, 416. At that time, I didn't know the other local numbers, but I remember the plumbers walking off with us, and we shut the whole fucking job site down over 400 pounds of rebar, bro, and we all went home. And we came back the next day, bro, and we were in the parking lot, and the GC came out and was like, sorry, we're going to get it fucking fixed. And it's like, bro, that's the power in unionism. Shit. Like, we all walked off for 400 fucking pounds of rebar. The impact on that, people are like, oh, you fucking crybaby, it's 400 fucking pounds, bro. And again, I just wanted to fucking stir up shit. Right. I was ready to, I was, we were going to fight or fuck, bro. I didn't know which one we were going to do, but something was going to go down that day. And Olsen Precast then signed an agreement with fucking ironworkers, bro. So now Olsen Precast is fucking signatory over 500 pounds or 400 pounds of fucking rebar from Red Rock. And I didn't understand the capacity of that, right? Like, until I became in union leadership, and I was like, the union didn't tell us to do that. It was the member. Like, we are the union, right? Like, but again, when the members are the union and they exercise their right to be the union, you don't wait for union leadership to tell you to walk off. First, again, that's illegal, right? There's rules here.
And that's the thing. Like the power of that situation was that the members decided to do something. If they would have called their rep and say, hey, what should we do?
Nothing.
The rep would have to say, oh, let me come down there and talk to him, but you can't walk off the job because that is a wildcat strike and that is illegal. So if my members are going through something like that and they call me, I'm going to say that is a wildcat strike, because if I direct them to do something, our entire local can get sued. We can lose all of our money. Like our funds could be depleted and then we'll have nothing, right? And so I always like wink, wink, nod, nod at the members, like, can't do that. Do something. I can't say it.
Yeah, and we can. So a lot of members think like, oh, my fucking piece of shit BA is not telling me what to do. It's like, well, it's illegal for us to tell you what to do, bro. In that situation, you got to be a man, and every good union man knows you don't cross a picket. Now, if you cross it or not, that's up to you. You decide if you want to be a good union man or not. I'm not telling you not to cross. I'm not telling you to cross. I'm telling you that in a situation of a picket, every good union man knows what to do, right? And a picket is like sanctioned picket. They have signs. We have things. It's not a banner. It's not like just a sign. You know what I mean? And I think we'll touch on that. I don't know if today's
We'll do an episode on that.
Yeah, we'll do a full episode, because it's important, dude. It's important for apprentices to know the difference between a banner and a picket, and what the union can tell you and what we can't, versus like, we're not being scared to tell you. It's just, bro, it's unlawful to tell you what to do sometimes in certain situations. And that's where the apprenticeship school comes in. And that's where I found success in leadership of being in the union. Like I said, bro, I think that if you're being mistreated as an apprentice by your own fucking apprenticeship school, who has your back, bro? Is it going to be your BA? Is it going to be Steve-O? Like, they're not going to go down there and go fucking tell the apprenticeship, like, hey, these are the fucking rules, right? And I think that's where it's important for business agents to have a good relationship with the apprentices, because you guys are the fucking future.
You are.
And I think that's part of the decline of the brotherhood, where the apprentices feel like they have no representation in their own schools sometimes, bro,
But you know what, too, though, Vince, to touch on that, as far as me, I always was the type of individual I've always said, especially after my dad died, right? I've always was more so on the side of, how can you respect me? And if I work hard, you're just gonna have to respect
There's no
me.
denying
I'm
it.
forcing you to respect me. And so it's the same thing in ironwork. I feel like a lot of apprentices, they don't care about none of that. They want to be cool by just
Pit
how
vipers.
you talk to, oh, hey, good morning, man. Yeah, just doing shit. But no, I want to be cool with you, and I want to create a bond with you. And that was my mindset coming into Local 416 is I'm gonna get you on my side by working hard though. Right? Not by all this extra other shit going on, the gossiping, all this extra shit. I want to do it because of how I work, right? How productive I am. That's how I want you to be like, man, that's a gangster. I can talk to him. I can have him as my partner. Or I can tell him what to do. You can tell me whatever you want to do. I had an apprentice be like, man, yeah, this guy made me do this. It's like, he's right there. Why don't you just get it? I'm like, just fucking get it.
Yeah.
It's your job, dog.
It's your fucking job.
It's your fucking job.
Fuck you. You think my mom wanted to be told what to do by the fucking owner of the house to come clean this fucking stupid gum off the ground when she could have just fucking done that? No, but mom has to do it to get paid.
Yeah.
Same thing with you, bro. Get down there and get that fucking that hickey and give it to the motherfucker.
That's the biggest problem with apprentices, I think, that I've seen the feedback I get. I'm obviously not in the field anymore, but goddamn, I miss it every fucking day. But everybody wants to be somebody without doing the fucking work.
Yeah, 100%.
Everybody wants to be the number one without. In order to be a badass number one, you got to know how to be a badass number two.
Yeah.
And always respect who the number one is, right?
100%.
And we all want to get there, but there's a fucking there's progressions there, bro. You're gonna miss everything in the fucking middle if you go from 0 to a fucking 100. You're gonna miss the important shit, the character building, and that's what I learned, bro. It's about experience, bro. It's not 100%. About smart. Like, you didn't just wake up. You had to fail to get that good. Yeah. And I would tell apprentices all the time, I failed more times than you've even fucking tried, motherfucker. Like, that's why. It's not that I'm the best or I'm the greatest. I fucked up a lot. Fucked up a lot, and you learn from it. And if you don't learn, that's what makes you a stupid motherfucker. 100%. It ain't the first mistake that makes you a stupid motherfucker. It's trying to do it again and again and again and not learning from your fucking mistake. That's what makes you fucking stupid, right? But if you could... It's all about experience, man. It's about experience. That's what makes you fucking good and great. The willingness to learn. And look, I've learned more from a stupid motherfucker than I have the smartest fucking iron worker. Just of what not to do, right? Like that's what I've learned in the field.
I told an apprentice once that we have to set these Rickson floor closers, and they're poured in quickcrete. And the pin from the jam has to be 2 3/4, and I'm like, hey, you got to set that at 2 3/4. And the apprentice's like, man, how do you know all this? You know how I know this? Because I've set it at fucking 2 1/2 and had to hammer drill the fucking thing out. That's why I know that. Because I fucked it up. Yeah, right. That's why I know that. Yeah. It's not because I'm just super smart and I memorize everything. It's because I have fucked it up so many times. I will never forget it when you spend half the day chipping out 15 floor closures that you put in the wrong spot.
You
right?
Up. Yeah, you fuck up. And you know what's funny? My dad always would tell me, and I remember a cop told me once too. You remember when I said I used to take the city bus everywhere? So I would always be afraid because everybody used to want to talk to me, right? And then once I told the cop at the school cop, I'm like, man, like, how do I get these people off of me, like, at the bus and, like, trying to pick up game, because I was now out on my own early, late nights. And he's like, hey, man, he's like, one thing I can tell you, he's like, learn from the source. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, yeah. If he's a homeless guy, he's like, how many homeless people have tried to give you advice? I'm like, honestly, and this is true, a lot of the people out when I was in the city bus would tell me, stick to the books, look where I'm at. And I would get a lot of that.
No shit.
Yeah, man, I promise you. And he's like, that's the source. He's like, you'll learn from anyone, anytime, anywhere. He's like, so if a homeless guy gives you something, and if it works for you, and you think it could work for you, why? Because he's currently in that situation, and he can tell you how it is, it's going to derail you from that. He's like, so take what you can and discard of what you don't need. And so now, in the boxing gym, anywhere in life, like, I'm humbled to be here, right? And so, but because you guys have done it all, you guys have seen it all, right? And there's more to see. So therefore, when I'm in the field, I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm the student. You tell me what do you need to do. I'm the student. You lead, bro. I'm cool with that. A lot of these cats, it's like, oh, but can we do? Shut the fuck up.
That doesn't go away, bro. Like that's the thing. Even me now, like you said, we've seen it all, done it all. I don't believe that for myself. I've only seen and done what I've seen and done up to today.
To now, yeah, 100%.
And then once we keep going, bro, it's fucking grind time, dog. And look, man, I'm grateful and blessed to have you on and to have met you, bro. I think you're gonna have a bright future, whether it's fighting or rebar, hopefully both. I selfishly
or glazing.
Yeah,
he might jump into the Glazers Union, maybe.
No, we don't go backwards.
Well, fuck, hey, I didn't say that.
Yeah. So. No. We fuck around, bro. And look, shout out to 2001 Glazers.
Hey,
those are my boys too, bro.
Shout out.
I got a lot of Glazer homeboys, man. But no, man. Like I said, honestly, bro, grateful to have you. Blessed to have you. I'm proud of your full story, bro. And I know we didn't get to the whole story here, bro, but there's other podcasts people could watch and shit. But I will say, bro, it's a blessing to see you talk about the full circle moment with the kids and the snacks, bro. I feel that with you, bro. I feel that with you and me. I'm fucking blessed to have you and call you a union brother, a real brother, and see what you could do in my home local, dog. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed, and I'm very, very feel just proud to have you in my local, bro. It gives me hope that there's still good apprentices and good fucking solid dudes out there. Stay safe, bro, please, and always continue to do the next best thing. I'll kick it over to Daniel.
Yeah, same, man. You are what we preach, right? You're starting a journey that we as union leaders and as building trade leaders are super proud of, and it's stories like yours that we don't get out enough. To educate the people on what a great life someone can have when they join a building trades union. So I want a front seat at where you go in the next 10 years. I'm super excited to see what you do.
100%. No, and I don't even have words sometimes to thank the people around me, right? Like my support system. I see this as a support system. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity, Vince. I'm thankful for what you see in me. At times I don't see what other people see, and rightfully so. It's not how it works.
Keep it that way.
But I'm also grateful for just opportunities, man. Opportunities opening up, and I'm an opportunist, so I like to take everything as is. But also I wanted to thank Steve-O, for always seeing something in me and pushing me, and pushing me, but not only to be good, but to be the best.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to all the, the crew that we work for, CJ, Zach, Rube Dude, Manny, all the guys, man. Shout out to them. Because if it weren't for them, if it weren't for their game, if it weren't for their want, because they always say, man, you're going to be a good rod buster. Just, man, don't change. That's what I'm looking for someone to be like, man, you can be someone when you maybe don't feel like no one.
You can, bro, and you're the only one that could do it, and you're the only one that could fuck it up, bro.
Damn right.
That's right.
So I'm coming for all the chips. So
Hell
you'll be hearing about me for sure. I can't wait.
Right,
but I'm thankful. No, thank you for having me here, and I'm
sure.
blessed. I'm humbled, and we're gonna keep the show going. So
awesome.
Good.
I'm excited.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate
Later.
it.
Thanks,
you.
Daniel.